Good afternoon, and welcome to the Gribley's Folly Mid-Year Reckoning, a video in which I will go back and watch my beginning of 2018 New Year's resolution video. It's June now, so I'm going to go back and watch this video in the break while you're watching my little fish intro. And when we come back, you will see how proud I am of all of my accomplishments. Well, that's sobering. I'm smoking Fusilier's ration in the most handsome legend ever, and when the first quarter just disappears like smoke, you can kind of distract yourself from that. But by the time you get to June, you really have to sit down and say, have I actually changed anything in my life this year? And the answer is kinda. And not the things that I wanted to change when I set out. I have made some changes. So let's get into it. This is how I hold myself accountable. More importantly, this YouTube channel is kind of a journal of. I hate using words like this, but this is a documentary about my journey. My journey away from my very, very worldly social perspective that I had before the 2016 elections, and journey into. Thank you first responders for all of your hard work and your sirens. I really appreciate it. Okay, so what was I talking about? Right, a journey. I don't know. Let's get right to those resolutions, which I think, now we can go back and say they were kind of suggestions, right? They weren't, I wasn't really, not really resolute. I was kind of, I had an impulse. Go back to my New Year's impulses. I wanted to learn the phases of the moon, which I did in like the first 2 days. That's easy. There's only 4 of them. I don't know why I don't know why I put that down in my, anyway. Next, no big box retail. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. I need a hot beverage here. Okay, no big. Hold on. No big box retail. I feel like big box retail is just sucks the soul right out of the back of my neck like Marcellus Wallace, and I shop on Amazon all the time because then I don't have to deal with other people. But there's something about the big box retail betrays the lie of our society. And I just can't stand it. I should probably talk about it more just to decide like what it is actually that I'm protesting. I'm not really protesting. I'm just removing myself from a situation. But anytime I go into a big box retail store, I feel like I hate the store. I hate the other customers. I kind of hate myself for being there, and I definitely hate the workers. And that's just not a good feeling. It's not. I don't want to hate people, so I've decided to remove myself from that situation this year, and it's great. It's great, but I did have a little slip up in which I got into a situation where I needed some clothes for work. I talk about this in another video that is upcoming. I got into a situation in which I needed some clothes for work. And I needed them pronto, and so I went to Kohl's and I got some things from the clearance rack, and I'm not proud of it, but it was my one little slip, and I did have a moment where I was like, well, hey, now I've slipped, I can go to Field and Stream and buy some fun stuff, right? But I didn't do it. So I'm counting that as a success, and I feel like I've spent less money total. The money that I have spent, I've spent online in a very efficient manner. I'm spending money at the local fly shop instead of Field and Stream. And I was probably spending a little more money than I would at Field and Stream, being a big box retail store. The prices were a little cheaper, but I mean, we're talking about a few bucks. Like, over the course of the year, I might have spent an extra $10, $20 maybe. I can do that to support my local store and stay out of places where people don't care about me except for my money. Success. I'll call that a success, even though I did have the one slip up. I also wanted to bike a lot. And I have biked more than I have in the past 2 years. I bought I don't think you can see it in the background. That right there, that mass of crap in the back of my garage, that's about $1,000 worth of biking equipment right there with that trailer and on the helmets and all that. And we just don't use it. We don't use it as much as we want. But I did, you can't see it, but I did buy a bike trainer so that and I quit the gym. I quit going to the gym, spending a bunch of money at the gym. And again, I felt the same way about the gym as I did about the big box retailers. These people this isn't what I want to be doing with my life. And, and it was hard. It was a lot of work. I don't like work. I'm lazy. No, it wasn't just that, because obviously I'm not lazy. Like, I'll go stand in a river and exercise and fish and crawl over rocks for 7 hours a day, right? But it was just something about going to this gym that I didn't feel like it was a good deal. It was a lot of money. Their equipment was rusty. And I just said, screw that. And I bought myself a bike trainer for about 2 months of gym membership. And I've spent some time on it. Not as much as I did in 2015 when I biked my big 100K ride, but that is okay. I don't need to bike a 100K ride every year. I have yet to get my bike really in top shape to go seriously biking, because it's going to cost about $100, I think, to get it all repaired. But I have gone on, some casual bike rides here and there. So I am biking more, but I'm not biking a lot. And I had plans to bike to fishing spots, but my time is so limited that's hard to do. So I'm going to call this about a 40% success. All right, all that was the easy stuff, because really the two big things that I wanted to change about myself were that I wanted to be more conscious about the way that I ate meat. I wanted to become a kill it myself-atarian, where I don't eat meat unless I kill it myself, or I know, almost locally know how it was killed, how it was raised, how it was slaughtered, all that. I haven't done shit about that. That's not true. I went and I talked to a dietitian friend of mine, and I said, look, I want to replace a significant portion of my protein that I get from meat now. I want to replace that with non-meat proteins. And we had a conversation about that, and her answer was beans. I hate beans. I don't like the way they taste. I don't like the way they make me feel. They're just disgusting. I don't know why I feel that way. And in some cases I can tolerate them, but I never really enjoy them. I went and I priced, vegetarian meat products, seem like meat, and they're so expensive I can't afford them. I went and I'm not going to do the tofu thing, because that's a whole nother story in my life. Sometime I'll remind me to tell you the tofu story. But there's a reason I don't eat tofu. And so I just kind of stalled out on this, and this dovetails with the last thing on my list, which was get a lot healthier, lose a lot of weight. I haven't lost shit. I haven't done that at all, and it's not that I haven't tried. I have tried to lose weight. I have tried to become fitter and more healthy. I haven't had any success. Looking at those two things, they seem pretty intertwined. Like, I'm going to need to make a big lifestyle change to deal with either one of them. And it's not like I go to McDonald's every day. It's not like I eat terribly. I just kind of eat. I think I eat okay. I eat okay, and I eat conveniently, because I have a kid and I run a business and I'm busy. I got 1,000 subscribers to please. So there's a lot of stress. There's a lot on these shoulders right here. And I want to acknowledge that, but at the same time, this is something I really do want to change. And so, you know how when you really know the answer to a problem, but you don't really want to know that you know the answer, because then you'd have to do it? That's where I am. And the answer to this is becoming a vegetarian. I don't want to do that at all. But it's going to take a big lifestyle change to get myself where I want to be in terms of consciously consuming meat. It's going to take a big lifestyle change to lose weight. So why not just have one big lifestyle change instead of two? I'm leaving this open for now. That's just kind of an open-ended thing. I know I'm going to get a lot of advice about eat this, don't eat that, do more exercise, blah, blah, blah. And I appreciate your advice, but the situation for me is that I have some sort of mental block about it. I've been back and forth about with this with myself, with my friends, with people who are educated on the matter, and maybe we could talk about this further in a different video. But I just making small diet changes is not going to be enough for me. Just adding a little bit of exercise here and there is not going to be enough. And so it open-ended, considering a big lifestyle change. Who knows what's going to actually happen, but I'm bringing it to you. So I'm going to call this a 0% success. Still a success, right? Just 0%. But I do want to give myself credit for a couple things here. Number one, I haven't become completely financially destitute. And that's taken a lot of work this year, actually. I've really streamlined my discretionary spending, my fishing spending. That's kind of where all my money goes. And I have basically cut out my spending on pipes and tobacco because everyone keeps giving me shit. Thank you so much. So those are two things that I've done well. I don't make a lot of money, and I don't. I have a lot of bills, and I have a kid that needs a lot of therapies and stuff. So there's not a lot of money hanging out there. So I like to give myself credit when I start doing these sort of reckonings, and that I'm not spending myself into oblivion. I'm basically maintaining my level of brokenness, which is pretty good. Next, in 20 days, what's today? The 9th, 21 days, I will have meditated every day for a year. I don't know what that means, but anytime you do something every day for a year, that's worth bragging about, right? Even though the point of meditation is to lessen your reliance on your ego, so you really shouldn't brag, but damn it, I'm a better meditator than you. Finally, and most embarrassingly, I seem to have made yoga a part of my life. I'm sorry, Satan stretching is now a part of my life. And it's very weird, and I'm not comfortable with it, so I don't talk about it very much. But it has fixed so many problems. It's ridiculous how many problems it has fixed, physical problems. And I feel like I've been given this crazy gift. Like it's like if somebody was like, here, wear this clown nose and it will cure all your physical ailments. You'd be like, fuck that, I don't want to wear a clown nose. But then if you went in the closet and put it on and you were like, man, I feel so much better. Like eventually you would have to start giving credit to the clown nose. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about Satan stretching. And so just to talk about it a little bit, I subscribe to a channel called Satan Stretching with Adrian. I think most people know it as Yoga with Adrian, but whatever. And the way that I started this process was I did her 30-day yoga challenge, and within 3 or 4 days of beginning it, the main thing that was bothering me, which was some tendonitis in my ankle, was cured. Like went away entirely. And it's kind of come and gone a little bit since then, but it's never been back to its original problematic state. I can tell that that ankle is a little tight, but it doesn't hurt. And that's freaky, man. Like that's just weird to me. And so after the 30 days was up, I did the 30 days, and I set myself the goal of like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do. When she gives me an option to do, you can do plank or half plank, I'm always going to do plank. I'm always going to take the harder option. And it wasn't that hard. It's not really all that physically demanding. Some of the more like the tighter poses, the like roll into a ball poses I can't do because I'm too fat and I have testicles. And I definitely think there's something to the idea that yoga is more capably done by people with no testicles. But whatever, there's plenty of men that do it. So anyway. Maybe if I had some yoga pants, that would be better. Who wants to start a Patreon and give me some yoga? Anyway, and so I did that, and then after the 30 days was up, I'm like, well, I'm gonna take a few days off, and at the end of that few days, I could feel my ankle starting to hurt again. I could feel a lot of tightness in my back and shoulders coming back, and so I just started again, and I did the 30 days over again for the most part. I skipped like the last couple because it was just kind of boring to redo the same videos. And mostly these videos are like 20 to 30 minutes. And now I'm doing Yoga with Adrian's June calendar thing. I did skip the one that was like an hour. I don't have an hour. I just can't invest an hour in this. But usually I do 20 to 30 minutes a day, and I haven't felt this good in a long time, and it's weird. It's weird because when you're doing it, it doesn't seem like that much of a big deal, right? You're not. It's not like this big, like huge physical cathartic thing. You're just doing some kind of stretches and silly dancing movements and all that crap, and you're breathing a lot. But then I feel good, so I'm wearing the clown nose. So it's important because it is actually a success, and it's a physical success. It's something that I've physically done that is successful, and that coupled with the meditation, I think, is helping me get a perspective on the dietary stuff, and helping me to realize that that I've got probably it's a food addiction, frankly, that I really need to deal with, and that I manage well, but that right. Anyway, I don't want to talk about this anymore. So, thank you for watching. This has been the Mid-Year Reckoning, and a milestone, even though maybe not a great one, on my journey away from consumeristic mass society. Blah 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 blah. Smoke your pipe. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind. Thank you for watching.